Hello, this is Leslie Lee, and welcome to Simplee Tarot, where I give intuitive advice to empower your life. This is a pick a card reading where we'll look at what you need to work on during this time. What do you need to improve upon? What do you need to put your time and attention into at this time? This is a timeless reading, so whenever you watch this, it should apply to you. Today we are using the Shadowscapes Tarot. This is a new tarot deck that I got from my recent trip to Sedona. Sedona is just a few hours away from me, and it's a very spiritual place, very peaceful place. And I took a trip recently to visit the Peace Park out there and to kind of realign myself and to ground myself and to work on some things that I needed worked on internally. And I think it helped a lot. So what better way than to use these cards to help you as well? So as always, the timestamps are in the description area below for your convenience. These are cards 1, cards 2, 3, and 4. You could connect with the crystal or the card, and that message is meant for you. As always, let's start with cards 1. So if you pick cards 1, let's see what cards you have and what you need to work on during this time. You have Believe and 3 of Swords. The Believe card says you are capable of great things. Now with these cards, I do feel a sense of self-doubt. I do feel a sense of low confidence or low self-esteem in the work you're doing or the things that you're producing, maybe even with your relationship, with your friends, co-workers, or maybe even with the environment you're in at this time. I do feel it's a lot of doubt here, and it's something that you're internalizing, and it's something that can become a barrier in your growth and towards your success if it isn't treated or if it isn't somehow maintained. You may have a recent loss, you may have a recent regret or something that you're holding on to that is hard for you to let go of, some kind of negative feeling or negative experience, and you're having a hard time believing in yourself and in your capabilities. You're having a hard time moving forward in the way that you know you can and you know you need to, but then there's that hump, that hurdle in the road that is kind of preventing you from moving on as fast or as efficient as you know you're capable of. These cards are asking you to look at what's hurting your heart, to look at what you're holding on to that is kind of becoming a toxin. And if this is a relationship, maybe you want to consider letting it go. If this is a career or something you're not happy with, something that brings you more, pain than joy, maybe you want to adapt somewhere in your life to get things moving in a new direction for yourself. Yes, a part of loss and grieving is letting go and coming to terms with what you've lost or what you couldn't change or what you didn't have any ability to manipulate, because most of the time when something is taken away from us, it is out of our hands. It's not because it's something we wanted, it's taken, it's snatched, and that's what it feels like. The only thing to do is find a way to cope. And coping could be in the form of talking to someone you trust, confiding in someone, letting things off of your chest, getting things off of your mind, speaking. The swords are a communication card. It talks about communication in every form. Maybe you want to journal. Maybe you could, put some of this in your diary. Maybe you could speak to someone. Maybe you could, write that message or that text or that email, and instead of hitting send, just save it for yourself so you could understand your real feelings, your true feelings, or where the negativity or this lack of belief is coming from. There are ways that you can cope with this feeling of loss or regret or not being able to get the thing you want or not being able to have or hold the thing that you know or feel you deserve. I do feel for a lot of you this can indicate maybe a recent death or maybe a death in the family or with someone you love, with a loved one that is hard for you to cope with or hard for you to move past, which I understand it is very difficult and it will take a lot of time and work. Also, this can indicate for some of you your job, your career, your creativity, your motivation, your drive, your determination. Anything that you're having a hard time getting that pedal to the metal or getting that energy to complete or to continue on. There is definitely a lack of belief in yourself or a lack of confidence in your abilities that is, I want to say, false. A lot of that comes from the lack of control we have over the situation and us feeling vulnerable and not in control anymore. But you have it in you to change your life in the way you want. Only you could change your life in the way you want. Only you can manifest your reality. And it starts with your mentality. It starts with how you think, your intentions, and what you put out there. So instead of saying that you don't believe it, or instead of saying that you can't or you won't or you feel like you cannot, it's time to start saying yes, yes I can, and I believe. The Three of Swords can also indicate a timeline. So this could signify 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, that sort of thing. And maybe this is a timeline for when things will get back on track. For a lot of you, I do feel this is. Number 3 could be a sign for you or synchronicity or a message in itself. And I believe that the universe is working with you to show you the way and to guide you towards your goals and your successes. You just have to keep that belief strong. Okay, let's move on. Moving on to cards 2. If you pick cards 2, let's see what cards you have and what you need to work on at this time. You have Go Within, explore your emotional self. And we also have Three of Wands. Now, Three of Wands shows that you are on the precipice of receiving something important, some news possibly, something that you're looking forward to, and patience is definitely required. But with the Go Within card, I do feel a lot of what you're seeking and a lot of what you need to work on in terms of getting these goals met is to understand what you have to offer emotionally and also mentally, spiritually, and maybe even physically. What do you have to offer that is destined to have this victory or this success? I do feel for a lot of you that there is a disconnect with what you want and what you need and what you are receiving. And you feel like you're not getting exactly what it is you need at this time. You feel like you're one step closer. I mean, you're reaching out to it. It's reaching out to you, but there is something there that is preventing it from being in your hands. And I think a lot of that has to do with yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, the things that you're holding on to inside. Subconsciously, the things that you don't want to see. Maybe things about yourself that needs, a little bit of mending or a little bit of changing or adjusting, readjusting. There's something inside that is urging you to kind of go within, figure out, meditate, analyze, look at closely, scrutinize, and see where this could take you if you fix it or mend it or adjust it, that sort of thing. The wand cards to me usually indicate creativity and passion and the things that you are striving towards to fulfill, like your talents and your skills. And this could be where your mind is at the time with your creativity, the things you're producing, the things you're showing to the world. Maybe you've put something out there like a book or a product and you're waiting for a response, or you're waiting for your audience to hop on board and show their support, or you're waiting for some kind of return on your investment. For some of you, this could be your passion, your determination. It's not as strong as you want it to be. Maybe you put a lot of your time into procrastinating instead of actually, producing something. And I understand that as well. I've been there, done that. But these cards are asking you to go within and see what it is that's blocking you. It's something in there. Maybe there's an emotional disconnect with you and your audience. Maybe there is an emotional disconnect with you and yourself. Maybe you're not understanding something about your emotions, or maybe you're not utilizing your emotions to put it into your creativity. Because a lot of times what comes with creativity and what sticks or resonates with a lot of people is when you put your personal self in that creation, when you put your authentic feelings and experiences, what have you, into that production, into that creative outlet. That's what resonates with people, and that's where you get the returns. That's where you get that support. That's where you get the comments or the help or the aid or whatever you're trying to accomplish with your work. So in order for you to succeed and to get where you want to go, part of it is understanding your emotions behind it. Understand why you are trying to get this thing. What did you initially want to get out of it? What are you giving to the world? What emotional part of you? What part of your heart or your being are you giving out to others and waiting for a return of? What part of yourself can you put into your work? What part of yourself can you put into your love life, into your friendships and your relationships? What part of yourself emotionally can you let become vulnerable enough to share with others? Because once you figure that out and once you do that, I see a big return for you. And the 3 cards always indicate to me a timeline. It could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, and so on. But this can indicate the time of when you could expect a turnaround when it comes to your emotional side and what you're putting into your work and the return you're receiving. So as long as you keep the faith, keep working on yourself, keep sharing your feelings and your emotions in whatever avenue you feel is best for you, I see that return coming in for you as well. So let's move on to cards 3. If you pick cards 3, let's see what cards you have and what you need to work on during this time. All right, you have persevere, keep striving and moving forward. And you also have 10 of Wands. This is very interesting. Let's make sure you can see this. Well, the 10 of Wands indicates a burden that you're letting go of. It indicates an end of a cycle that was very hard or very taxing on you. And with the card keep striving and moving forward, it shows that you definitely have to work on your determination. You definitely have to keep going and keep believing in yourself and keep moving forward and keep going after your goals. Don't lose sight of your goals, because with the 10 of Wands here, I see that it's been an uphill battle and it's been very, very hard to get to where you feel you need to be. And the universe is hearing you. The universe understands that you are putting in everything. And as long as you do, as long as you continue to put all your faith, all your time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into your work, into yourself, into your emotions, into your spirituality, into your career, your family, your love life, as long as you continue putting in the work, you are going to get a return. You are going to see the fruits of your labors. And labor is definitely what is on my mind here. That's the feeling that I'm getting, because everything you're doing right now, everything you've been working on in the past couple of years or months, whatever this project is, whatever this thing is that you're trying to get to the goal, you have been laboring, you have been working, you have been, striving left and right. And it's come to a point where you're almost thinking, should I just give up? Do I just stop here? Like, what's the point in moving on when I haven't had a return yet? What's the point in fighting and struggling and keeping on when it seems like everything is getting thrown at me? This is the time you have to work on your perseverance. This is the time you have to build upon your strength. Toughen it out, build that thick skin, lengthen your spine, make it strong, stand up straight and keep going. Because they say when it's really tough, that is when it's about to be a breakthrough. That's when things are about to turn around for you. And I see that happening. The 10 of Wands indicates the end of a cycle. 10 is the last number before it turns back into 1. So it's the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. It's the start of something new. First, we have to let go of those rods of burden, which is depicted in the 10 of Wands. If you can see, this woman who's rooted as a tree, she is carrying the world on her back. She is carrying that struggle. She's holding on to that load. She's trying to keep it balanced and stabilized and maintained, and that's her job. And at this time, it's your job, especially when you want something so bad and been fighting for it and working for it for so long. It's your job now to keep it up, to keep pushing forward, to keep persevering, to keep striving, to keep achieving, because sooner or later, and very soon I feel, you're going to have that breakthrough and things are going to turn around big time. So keep that faith, keep it strong, and know that everything you've been doing up until this point and beyond is worth it. It hasn't been a waste of time. It hasn't been a waste of time at all. You are learning and you're working hard and you're gathering your experiences and you're learning from your mistakes and you're learning what to do and what not to do and so forth. This has not been a waste of your time. It could be your relationships, it could be your career, it could be your projects, your business, money, what have you. It's not a waste of time. So everything you're doing, you're accumulating wealth and knowledge, and it's going to pay off big time. If not now, very, very soon. Keep persevering. You're that much closer. If you give up now, you may have regrets and you may look back at your progress and realize you were just this close to getting that success, to getting your goal, to getting what you've been working for so long. So do not give up now. All right, let's move on to cards 4. If you pick cards 4, let's see what your cards are and what you need to work on during this time. You got honor, give credit where credit is due, and Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords shows me that this is about communication. It's possibly about understanding the truths or believing the truths or what's being shown to you or what's being said to you or some kind of communication. And with the honor card here, it shows me that there may have been something in your life recently where you didn't want to believe, where you didn't want to see it, where you didn't want to hear it. And sometimes those are the toughest lessons to be learned, because sometimes that critique or that feedback is necessary for growth. And I feel for some of you, because I'm about to get very specific, someone told you something that was the truth. It could be the truth about yourself, the truth about your creativity, the truth about what you're producing, the truth about where you're at in your life. Something was told to you or communicated to you that you didn't want to hear, that you didn't have the capacity to take in at the time. But that person may have been right. Maybe they didn't deliver the message in the best way or with the best delivery, but they may have been speaking a lot of truth that you needed to hear. These cards here are about authenticity, about being the best you could be, about standing up for yourself, about standing up for what you believe in, about integrity, about communicating and speaking out and being heard. That's what I'm getting with these cards. And with the honor card, it shows that sometimes you have to look at the tough areas of your life, the things that are hard to change or hard to adapt to, and understand that this is being presented to you for the best. So in other words, honor is another form of respect. Having respect for those who give you constructive criticism, the kind of criticism that is honest, yet helps you improve. It's not defaming, it's not rude, it's not to bring you down, it's to build you up. And also having respect for yourself and for your own beliefs and for your own opinions and for who you are. Don't let anyone or anything rob you of the respect you have for yourself, because we shouldn't give anyone else that power to ruin your day, to make it gloomy or negative, to bring that negativity into your life and make it affect you and your productivity. We shouldn't give anyone else that kind of power. That power only resides in us. We have the power to change our lives. We have the power to turn our dreams into reality. We have the power to manifest what we want and make it real. We have that power. We hold that power. As soon as we give that power to someone else, then they're in control of your life, of your decisions, of your opinions, and so on. There are times when people will come in with their opinions and their thoughts, and some of the time it's correct, and it's something that could be used to help boost you and build you and get you far. And that's the lesson here. It's to give credit where credit is due, but not to allow others to come in and change your mentality or change your happiness or alter your way of doing things if you know that it's not meant for you. So for some of you, this could be others coming in with information that you need to hear that will help better you and change you for the better and build you up and get you closer to your goals. And for others, it's about yourself, beating yourself down and not giving yourself enough credit for the experiences you've been through and the lessons you learned and the places you're going and what you're striving for. It's all about honor here. Honor those who are helping build you up with the truth, and honoring yourself as well for doing what you need to do to better yourself or become the best version of yourself, or to somehow improve upon what you're producing or you're making or what you're doing in your life when it comes to love, relationships, family, friends, coworkers, career, your business, your creativity, your output in one way or another. So definitely about honor and respect here, and definitely about honoring and respecting yourself and not taking constructive criticism to heart. There is definitely a lot to unpack here with these cards, but I'll keep it light and just say that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your likes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all your comments. I love connecting with you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything. I hope this reading was helpful for you. I'll have more readings like this for you soon, and I will see you soon.